Oh my goodness. So does every asset have to go through probate? This is a serious and very important question because the probate process is long and can be tedious and can be pretty expensive. And that expense is dictated by how many assets and what's the value of the estate. Hello, everyone. What's going on? This is Courtney Rollins from Life and Transitions Experts Podcast, live, well, recording on location in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm at an awesome training event with Mom's House. If you haven't heard of Philip Vincent and Ben Raoud with Mom's House, definitely check it out if you are a practitioner or someone like me who is dedicated their business to helping families through biggest transitions in life, such as the death of a loved one or selling property, or with his Mom's House, is focusing on helping seniors transition into uh, to proper type of homes and being able to take care of, buy, and deal with the transaction of the home there, so that it quite often gives the families the funds they need to be able to support mom or dad in their new assisted living space. So I'm excited to keep on growing, continue to learn. Shout out to the Drury Hotel. I did not know the Drury Hotel gave out such great, awesome benefits. The Drury Hotels of this recording, every night between 5:30 and 7, they give three free spirited beverages as well as a warm meal. So it's the simple things in life, and this hotel riding or living is pretty fun when you have benefits like this. At any rate, let's get back to what we're talking about today. We're going to look at, well, the answer, spoiler alert, there are assets that do not have to go through the probate process in North Carolina specifically, and we're going to talk about four of them today. All right, so let's jump into one. One is called joint tenancy. Tennessee assets. I'm not saying it right. Joint tenancy. I don't know why I can't say that thing in Hennessy, Tennessee, whatever. But anyways, joint tenancy is when two parties own a property, 100% of the property. Both of them own 100%. That's usually referred to or commonly known in marriages. Someone buys, families married, they buy a home, and they both now own the home 100%. In North Carolina, this happens regardless of who's on the deed as well. So that is something to be aware of. If you buy a home, you marry someone, um, and you put it in your name and you have a spouse, that spouse during when you pass away still has the right for joint tenancy because of North Carolina laws. So please be aware of that. It's called granted the right of survivorship, and the property does not have to go through the probate process again, which is super important because it will not be, the value of the asset will not be based on um, that property value, which means you're going to spend less money and less time having to deal with some of the paperwork and things that you need to do when you go through probate in North Carolina. Now, there's another thing called tenancy in common, and that's when two parties have interest in the party, but they don't own it outright. So let's say one party owns 75%, other party owns 25%, or 50-50, or whatever it is. The part that is owned by the decedent will have to go through the probate process and will count towards the value of the estate. But the other part, the living owner, still just owns their own portion. So that's something to be aware of. And so then number three, there are some assets that aren't that necessarily specify who the beneficiaries are in the will, but still will allow the designated beneficiaries to receive the benefits without having those assets counted in the probate process. These are things like life insurance policies, or the benefits from pension, or the retirement accounts, or bank accounts that are noted payable on death. Now, make sure that you're checking, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, that you have those people named in there in those spaces, because uh, it has to be named before that person passes away. And I would also highly encourage that you have some contingencies, because if that person has already passed away, or God forbid, or that both people by the same time, then if no one is named specifically, then the assets will have to go through probate. And the last type of asset my favorites that I almost feel like I need to go out and be like champion folks to think about or consider, so that they can avoid probate and protect this income and this wealth that we're generating, and that is a living trust. And there are several different types of living trust, but commonly referred to as revocable trust or irrevocable trust. And again, it depends the management of it and different uh, what can be done between a revocable trust and irrevocable trust does have some differences, but overall, whichever one is used, many people find it the most effective way to protect an asset from probate. There are also some awesome other benefits of having your property in probate. So a living trust lets the asset ownership transfer to the trust as dictated by the terms of the trust. And because the asset is now no longer, or not in the decedent's name, but it's in the trust's name, it doesn't qualify for probate in North Carolina. And again, there are so many awesome benefits to a trust. Highly recommend that you think about getting a trust. If you want to think about getting a trust, or if you have any questions about the probate process in North Carolina or really across the nation, reach out to Estate Pro Service LLC. You can go to our website, www.estateproservice.com. You can check us out. There's a free link for set up a consultation. And again, I'm not an attorney or a lawyer, but I am sharing my experience in the probate process and sharing my opinion. And we'll be able to connect you, put you on the right path, either things that we can do from the physical, non-legal sides to supporting you finding the right legal representation if you decide to go down that route. And that could be anywhere in the nation because we do have a great, awesome network of vetted estate professionals that we have access to. All right, so folks, let's think about this as you while you're living. We're going to make sure we get our will in place, but we also need to make sure that we have our assets protected as best as we can to not have to go through the probate process. And using any of these type of these, if you have assets that are set up like this, you still may want to consider that final one I talked about, the trust. But you want to know you want to be able to know how your assets are going to be handled upon your death or the death of your loved ones. So let's take care of that. All right. All right, folks. Got to head out of here and enjoy the rest of this training. I definitely wanted to share with you all thoughts and opinions that hopefully you find helpful. Rising tides, it lifts all sails.